Well, good morning or good afternoon or good evening, whatever time you're watching this. But today is Monday, August 29th, and it is time for our weekly meeting highlights. And this week it is called Put the Scale in Its Place. If only it was that easy. If only it was that easy. But we always start off with how I did for the previous week. As you may know, if you're new to my channel, I've been following Weight Watchers since 2016. I had lost 96 pounds. Things happened in the world, and I gained back 30 pounds, and now I'm fighting to lose that 30 pounds that I've gained. But I have switched. I'm doing Weight Watchers, but I'm also doing my Fitness Pal. It's kind of weird, but I'm doing both. But let me see how it's paying off calorie counting, because I've been calorie counting for the last 3 weeks. So let's take a look and see how I did on the scale this week. Are you as shocked as me? If you've been following me for a while, I'm sure you're shocked. Pick yourself up off the floor, because it's exactly what I had to do this morning. I couldn't believe it, but I weighed in this morning at 237.6, which was a 2.2 loss. So my total is 66.6 pounds. I have lost in the last 3 weeks 7.8 pounds. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. That was my granddaughter, Sophia. She had some questions for me. But anyway, I have lost 7.8 pounds in 3 weeks, counting calories and also doing Weight Watchers. I think that the reason I'm doing both at this particular time is I don't think that Weight Watchers gives me enough points to equal the calories that I'm eating. Since I switched over to calories, I'm way over on my Weight Watcher points, but I'm not way under, but I'm under the calories that I'm allowed for the day. So it's just an experiment I'm working on for a couple months just to see how it works. I still track on the Weight Watchers app, and I still track on the MyFitness app and compare them both. And I weigh myself once a week, which brings us to our topic of the scale. Listen, we're not totally canceling the scale. Weighing yourself regularly is one of the best predictors of weight loss and maintenance. But we are knocking it down a few pegs. Why are we doing this? It isn't the be-all, end-all to determine what you're doing on this journey. Here's something to think about. How would you define your success if the scale didn't exist? That's true, because I think so many of us, myself included, I just look at the number and I get so discouraged. I was letting myself, I always swore, because I did get down to 209.2 at one point, and now you see I'm 237.6. So I put some weight on. I always told myself that when I got into the next set of digits on the scale, I was going to really nip it in the bud. But unfortunately, I didn't do that. I saw the teens, and then I saw the 20s. And then when I saw the 30s, I thought, So I really didn't pay that much attention to the scale. And then I got into the 40s. I was up to 245, what was it, 7.8, 245.4, 246.4. So I was getting up there. I was really getting up there. And it was just, I thought, you know what? I'm not going to so much rely on the scale and get so discouraged, because if you've watched me for a while, you can see that this year I've been losing a pound, gaining 2, losing 2 pounds, gaining 3. So, I have been on this journey of a roller coaster ride for all this, for a year and a half, 2 years. So I'm back to business now, and this is working for me. So I'm pretty much going to stick with it. But think about it. Maybe it's how you feel when you wake up, how your jeans fit, how you've accomplished something you thought never possible. Congratulations, you found your first non-scale victory. They like to call it an NSV. So I think that the fact that I really have a better frame of mind as far as how I want to approach my life. I still want to follow Weight Watchers. I signed up again for another 6 months. I don't know if it's just that I can't quit it or what. I don't know. But I know that they have my best interest in mind. I really do know that Weight Watchers has my best interest in mind. But I don't think that with all of their science that they're following, I think that their program is geared more towards younger people who can afford, for a period of time, not to have their full daily allowance of calories. Myself, because I'm going to be 72 next week. Ugh, does that seem possible? But I think I need my calories, and I don't think that I need to completely follow the program, but it awakens me a little bit. Now, I love cheese, but cheese is so high in points on Weight Watchers. I think like an ounce of provolone cheese is 5 points, but it's like 80 calories on the MyFitnessPal. So I can compare them and say, well, you know what? It's too many points on Weight Watchers. So, and it's only 80 calories here. I can eat as much cheese as I want. But if I really go deeper into it, I can look and see that the cheese, even though it's lower in calories than I think, it's still high in saturated fats. We all have to have fats in our diet, but we have to watch what kind of fats we have in it and how much fat we put into our diet. And I think that the Weight Watchers tends to keep you aware of, I'm going to give it a high amount of points so that you can know that this is there's a lot of calories and saturated fats. Same with like any kind of processed foods. It really doesn't look like a lot of calories on the surface when you're looking at it, but it deceives you, because even though there's not a lot of calories, it doesn't show you the high content of fat and sodium and other things like that your body really doesn't need. So that's one of the main reasons that I'm doing both. Weight Watchers and the MyFitnessPal. I do like the meeting highlights because I think that they do help me to stay on track. And I do like sharing them with you. So that was another one of the reasons that I re-signed up. But anyway, how to stay inspired no matter what the scale says. There are tons of ways to measure your success, and it starts with imagining how you'd celebrate those wins if the scale didn't exist. Now, we all know that if there was no such thing as a scale to weigh us, we would go by how our clothes fit, how we just feel in general, how we move, getting up out of a chair. All of those things are good indicators. But unfortunately, if you're like me, you want to see a magic number on the scale. I am no different than a lot of people out there. Now, there are some people that don't worry about the scale. More power to them. I still, as much as I try not to worry about what the scales say, I do, in a way, judge it as far as my accomplishment for the week. But I should also realize that my clothes are fitting better, I'm sleeping better, my skin is feeling better because I'm drinking more water, all of the benefits that the scale is just not showing, that my body is telling me if I would just listen to my body. So these are some things that you can try. List 3 things that have changed in the past month. Well, the first thing that's changed is my attitude. My attitude has definitely changed. I've just reached a point that I'm just tired of gaining weight again. I'm just tired of it. I'm seeing how quickly the weight is coming back on, because let's face it, once you lose weight, it comes back on twice as fast. I don't know, those little fat cells, they don't ever disappear. They hang on there just knowing that one day you're going to reopen them, and they're going to be open for business once again. So we have to really be aware and change our attitude. So I do think I changed my attitude. The second thing I did change was my outlook. I was this year thinking, I guess this is it, Sandy. You've reached the age. You preached it for so long that age doesn't matter. You can lose weight no matter what age. Now you're finding out that's not true. No, it was a true statement. It's slower. It's definitely slower. And I just think that I just have to realize that even though it's slower, it's not impossible. I have to practice what I've been preaching, because when I started off, I was 66, and so it was easier. Let me say not easy, easier. Now, I'm not saying that it's easier it's hard no matter what your age. It really is harder. It's hard to lose weight no matter what your age, because you have the habits that you formed. You have your outlook on how you want to eat. But in a sense, only because of your body metabolism, it makes it easier for your body to adjust than it does for me. Somebody that's 36 is going to have just as much trouble getting their mindset right as far as losing weight as me. But they have a little bit of an advantage because they have a little bit better metabolism that's working for them, if they put it to use. So I am by no means saying that it's easier for younger people to lose weight. I don't care if you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Every decade, it gets a little bit more difficult to lose weight, but you're all on the same playing field as far as your mindset. Everybody can have the same mindset no matter what your age is. And I think mindset, as far as weight loss, is like 90% of the journey. 90% of it is mindset. The other 10% is just eating correctly, in my own opinion. Because I think that, like if you have a 50-50 attitude, you're going to have a 50-50 success rate. But if you have a 90-10, you're going to have like a 90% rate. I am by no means perfect every day of the week. No means. But if I was to be perfect every day of the week, I wouldn't last as long as I have lasted. It's just as simple as that. And the third thing that has changed for me are my food choices. I'm eating foods that I enjoy. I'm not eating foods that are strictly 0-point foods. I'm eating foods that I like, but also watching the calorie count on them, the saturated fat count, the sodium count. I'm watching all of that stuff. And it's paying off. I've lost 7.8 pounds in 3 weeks. So I've lost almost 8 pounds in 3 weeks. Now, granted, that's going to start slowing down. I completely realize that. But it's enough of a boost to make me realize that, I got this. I can do this. But if you're struggling to find three lines, ask yourself, if the scale didn't exist, consider how you would measure success. And here's some things that they told you to think about. Healthy habits like starting a wake and walk routine. Oh, how I miss my walks. I have plantar fasciitis, and it's kind of painful to walk. Just not as bad as it's been, but it's still a little bit. But anyway, your yes moments. Maybe you aren't so wiped after work, or you want your clothes to fit better, or you want to change to your health, or you want to have new experiences like taking a Zumba class or learning how to cook, things like that. So now they tell you to dive a little deeper. Now that you have your list, think about what this win really means. First of all, recognize the impact of each one. Maybe cooking more means you enjoy healthier, fresher foods, or fitting into your favorite clothes makes dressing feeling easier. I do like to cook. Unfortunately, I don't really cook a lot of healthy things, only because of habit of, like I said, I'm going to be 72. I'm so used to eating unhealthy foods, cooking unhealthy foods. And I can see that I can change them up a little bit, and I have every intention of doing it, but sometimes it's a little bit harder. But now, even with the 7 or 8 pounds that I've lost, I can feel it in my clothes. You wouldn't think 7 or 8 pounds make a difference, but trust me, it really has made a difference for me. Also, zoom out to see the big picture. How do you feel reflecting on and celebrating the types of wins that you've been having? How is it different from when you focus only on the scale? I'd like to see the number on the scale, I'm not going to lie to you, but I also like to know that I can put on a pair of pants that at the beginning of the summer were a little bit tight, and today you can wear them and they're just right. Now I want them to get to be a little bit loose so I can move back into my other sizes. I made a plan this last time when I gained weight, and I'm very surprised that the clothes still fit me, because I got rid of clothes as I outgrew them. And last summer, I was just in the process of outgrowing my summer clothes. And the unfortunate mistake that I made was that I kept the clothes. So I had a backup plan the whole winter that at least if I gained a little bit of weight, my summer clothes from last year would still fit me. And unfortunately, at the beginning of the summer clothes still fit me, but they were tight. So fortunately, unfortunately, but it worked out for me in the long run, because it was enough to give me a little bit of an incentive to try. And I don't know what kicked in, but finally something kicked in, and now I'm losing weight again. It feels amazing to see a lower number on the scale, or if you already met your goal, to maintain the same number. But scale changes are far from one thing, and they're only one measure of your progress. Plenty of factors may slow your weight loss roll, stop you in your tracks, or send you in reverse. Plateaus and setbacks are often part of the ride. Plateaus are the worst. Oh, setbacks, obviously setbacks are the worst, but plateaus, you can try and you're doing everything right and you're not losing weight. I think that was one of the reasons that I kind of lost my way, is like, it doesn't seem like the weight was coming off like it should have, and I wasn't giving my body a chance to catch up with my mind. Here's the thing, just like your why probably goes beyond weight loss, so do your wins. And we mean all wins, from eating veggies at almost every meal to more abstract victories, like realizing you've got Energizer Bunny stamina and are feeling confident. The scale can't measure any of that. Research shows that many WW members reflecting on non-scale victories helps them lose weight and keep it off. So expand your definition of success and make a plan for how you'll keep popping the proverbial champagne. Oh, okay, popping the cork. Okay, I got it now. Maybe it's before you weigh yourself or while you write it in your journal. Regardless, the more you do it, the more it becomes successful and the more it becomes natural. All true statements. I just really think that doing the Weight Watchers and the calorie counting is working for me. I plan on sticking with it for a while. And let's keep this experiment going and tune in next week and see how I did. How did you guys do? And what do you consider a non-scale victory? Getting into clothes that, making my clothes feel more comfortable for me is a really good non-scale victory for me. But now people stop telling me, are you losing weight? Because they saw that I was gaining weight. Now a non-scale victory is when someone says, you know, you look like you lost a little bit of weight. That's a non-scale victory for me. Whether I've lost a lot of weight or not, let's face it, 8 pounds is not going to show that much on somebody my size. But I know it and I feel it, and that's all that matters. So let me know your little secrets to keep yourself on track, as I probably could use them. This is 3 weeks. This is the longest stretch that I've stuck with something, and I want to keep this train a-rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep this doggy rolling. Rawhide. Okay, that's it. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, share if you think somebody might like to see it. Stay safe, be healthy, be kind. Be kind to people, especially nowadays. Be kind. And hopefully I see you here next week, if not on my daily vlog. See you soon.